Welcome everyone for the second match of the grand final of the PCC 6 main event, Even Worse Timing against Villains, and Even Worse Timing won the first match, so they're now 1-0 up. And how we're going to see a repeat of the PCC 4 when Even Worse Timing actually completely dominated Dirty Lake and the boys, the new villains in a sense. Well, to be fair, in this first match, it was a very close match and Villains played that very well. They just make a few mistakes regarding those Fengtus timing, but they're definitely put up a fight and they're looking much stronger than 2 PCC back. So let's see how they fare in that match. We're entering the second game of the grand final of the PCC 6 main event. Even Worse Timing against Villains. Even Worse Timing won the first game. It's 1-0 up. 2 more and they would be the grand champion of this 6th edition. And here in terms of composition, if we look a little bit at that, we do have Grux, Greystone, Gadget, Steel, and Murdoch. So kind of a composition that rely with a lot of frontline, as we can see, kind of a tank meta that tournament. We do have the Steel, Greystone to create space. I kind of like the fact that the Grux is not forced to be in engage duty because we already have the Greystone and the Steel that create space. And also I kind of like that the Grux can actually be very beneficial as a second engager to be able to support the damage of a gadget, for instance. Suddenly we create some chaos with the Greystone and the Snoop find a good smash and grab into a Tesla Dome, into Warlord's Challenge, into Crush, and everyone explode on the enemy team. So a very heavy kind of wombo combo type of playstyle that can be very interesting. While on the other side, we do have the Narbash Drongo lane. So here we're just looking at a little bit of aggression. We do have the Chimera, which was the #1 jungle in that tournament. And we once again have the Howitzer. It seems that Bry loved the Howitzer. Once again, can be stopped by the force shield from the Steel. But at the same time, the landmine is such a nuisance for a character like Grux. Is actually super can be super annoying. And then we have Lobber on the Sevrog. The idea was I guess to pick the Grux to be able to dominate Lobber and I said have this second aspect of being able to team fight, which can be very very nice. And also this potential of actually deleting people very fast. But this Grux can't afford to fall behind, otherwise it's gonna have zero impact in that game. Also, one thing that we already noted in other games, Even Worse Timing actually love the gadget pick because in the tank meta and with the Mega Cosm change, being able to shred tanks through the Tesla Dome is actually very, very valuable. And there's absolutely no other caster that can afford to do so. So this is one of the reasons they kind of love the pick. And here they have pretty good setup to prepare for that. Only problem is Gadget can get dove by the Chimera pretty easily. And Chimera damage plus Howitzer damage can kind of completely delete the gadget. So the early game, she kind of have to be careful. So I'm quite interested about the matchup. Also on the dual lane, it's kind of we kind of note that we have a Narbash against Steel. And since we have a Narbash against Steel, to be fair, I guess this go to the advantage of the Narbash lane because they have the Drongo and Drongo offer more pressure overall early on. So we go for a little bit of poke. Of course, we're gonna use the double pen against the Siphon. We're actually slightly behind on the level 2 for the Grux, but we get the level 2 at the same moment. We go aggressive, get the Subjugate. The Subjugate into the minion is actually very dangerous. On top of that, also I'm not a big fan of that traded by the Snoop because he already used the double pain to get his level 2 to not be behind, and so he couldn't use the double pain on top of Lobber. So even if you can bully, as you can see, the trade is pretty even in the end because he doesn't have the double pain, and then he gets subjugated into minion damage. So here we get the advantage, zoning a little bit, we're gonna get the level 3. As soon as we get the level 3, Lobber can't really step up. But we get the level 3 also on Lobber. He doesn't have a lot of mana as well, so here like the wave is pushing back, so that's something. Ooh, we got like a good smash and grab, forcing the Phantom Rush away. Unfortunately, we go for the Crush when the Crush can't really like chase a Phantom Rush. And I guess we're just gonna get like this wave under tower. While in the meantime, we do actually have like quite often invade on the blue side. As we can see, like the camera, Happy Picker getting the blue buff, getting the 3 camp, Ray and Pablo forced like to kind of respect that. They can't really like do much here, but actually like they don't take the 3 camp. While on the other side, we do have Import that was going for the steal. And unfortunately, like Bryce is here and Bryce secured the blue buff and stop like this engage, this invade. And so now Import is actually quite far behind. Not really healthy, gonna force to go back to base, doesn't have his own blue buff. And like Bryce's rotation actually like super clutch here. And I guess that's why like it's important to keep your hunt if you want to go for the invade. And so that means that's also like an advantage in terms of like actual farm when it comes to the mid lane. As you can see, like Bry is slightly ahead in terms of experience thanks to that blue buff experience. So here we have the Snoop getting the wave push into him. He saw the camera on the ward, so of course he's gonna like fully respect that. Trying to deal a little bit damage of Lobber, but that forced like the full wave to kind of reset, and the Snoop can't really step up because like Happy Picker is on the 5 camp. Happy Picker doing a very good job at actually like invading the jungle so far. Here we get like a very nice landmine from the rotation of Bry. And I guess like they tried to be aggressive onto Lycanator. We got like the bull rush into the 2 people, but the bull rush a little bit too far away. Lycanator flashed away. Import like sacrificing his whole health pool here. But then we got like the Briar rotation. Very nice landmine catching like Ray. I think he was trying to get Import, but in the end it's a perfect landmine to get Ray. And that's like a kill, and that's the first blood. And Briar like getting blue buff plus first blood. At the same time, like Import was going for that gank, while like on the other side of the map he was getting invaded. And so this 3v2 situation actually ended up like at the benefit of the side of villains from Briar's rotation. And so like so far, so even worse, I mean, not doing so hot in terms of jungle control. As we can see here, the camera, we got the 5 camp, immediately working towards the 2 camp. Wow, Happy Picker leaving 1 minion up. But here we do have Import coming. Import is like very, very strong. The camera will be forced to flash away. We got the flash afterwards, and here Import is on the hunt. Like he see bloods, he want to get like Happy Picker, he go for the perfect jump distance, then get the Sacred Oath, doesn't go from one auto attack in the... and I have to admit that I have to say I love this replay mode, that every time you're gonna see a kill, like he believes that it's like too much for the viewers. Like they can't like afford to see deaths, like it's a little bit like too heavy for them, so it just like jump away so we don't see the kill being taken. But yeah, Import finding the kill. To be fair, he knows very well like the limit of his champion, because I thought he wasn't going to catch him after like flashing after way, but it's kind of very well played here, and that kind of compensates a little bit what Import has been losing early on by getting this solo kill on the camera. He's still like not fully there in terms of like experience, but he's gonna just catch up after he finishes red. Shin trying to have like perfect like sticky mine explosion to get like the river buff. Now we're using the colossal blow to try to create a little bit of space and not letting him crash the wave. So here we're trying like to stop like that from going under tower. We want to counter engage. We try to chase aggressively because Shin was rotating, but Happy Picker is around, and without the shield slam there is not much they can do if the security gate doesn't connect on Laconator. Snoop securing the teal buff. Hello Sovereign Greed, it's the second game of the finals. So we do have the Snoop getting like pushed away while the enemy team is actually forcing like the mini prime, but on the meantime like Import is forcing the Fang Tooth, so that's gonna be like an objective trade basically. There is like nothing very special here. No team get like really high priority on the map, so at 9 minutes they decided to go for some like trade-off objective. Usually it all depends of what you do with this mini prime. If the mini prime you get like something out of the mini prime, it's kind of better to get the mini prime because then you get like more gold overall. Like for instance you need to secure some structures with it, but if you don't secure anything, getting the Fang Tooth that allow you to get like this permanent like effect on the long time is actually like better. So here we can see like they offer it to Lobber, trying to offer like a little bit of pressure and making like this matchup that is supposed to be like complicated for the Sevrog like easier to navigate. Here we do have like Import that is like dewarding, trying like to maybe like be around and make Lobber uncomfortable with that mini prime because he can't really step up by himself, otherwise like the Greystone can actually like be very very aggressive. Well, there is like a long discussion about build in the chat, but there also like the thing about builds is so many people like kind of see the builds in a vacuum, when actually like also like build should be really about like what is your job in your team and what you're trying to accomplish against the enemy team. Like for instance, I see casters that always play this build the same way every single game, when some game your job is to delete squishy, some game your job is to actually deal objective damage, some game your job is actually like to do sustained damage, and based on that you're supposed to adapt your build compared to the situation. And so far I feel like in competitive like we're so far away from that. But that's also like what makes like MOBA fun, because like there is so much depth. And here we're going in, we're going for the jump in with the call, we get the wall challenge to stop, and then we got the grab onto two people, and here like a very very nice body block by Import that kind of forced a flash out of Lobber, but in the end that's still like a pickup fine on the Snoop, and nothing in return because of the rotation of Bri. Like so far like Bri has been like in every single play on the side of villain type games. So here like we're trying like to get like Pablo is trying to get the tower, and you can see like the positioning of Shin and Ray are simply here to be able like to cover Pablo pushing the tower, and so like Pablo was completely safe thanks to this rotation from Ray and Shin. Like I can't wait to see Fang Boost number 6 and see that Morris is going to play Grux at every single game and still manage to do something with it. So what are we maxing? So yeah, here we can see Bri is maxing the landmine second. Thank you. Don't go for the right of Soul Reaper of maxing like the slow grenade. always max the landmine second, please. If you want to deal damage, if you want to be safe, if you want to be useful in team fight. So here we got the shield slam trying to protect, but that's a little bit too much. Pablo flashing away, Ray flashing away, and that was like a good wombo combo. Not enough to actually find some kills, but that should be enough to actually find a tower here. I think we tried to use the long arm of the low to clear the minions here. We weren't looking to kill anyone. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were like, wow, this long arm of the low looks so weird. But the idea for me was to clear the minion wave so they can't take the tier 1 tower, because they kind of forced to go back to base on the side of Pablo and Ray. And so like the idea was like, oh, we try to clear the wave as fast as we can if it hits, and then we maybe have a window to come back and defend this tier 1 tower.
Allied tower under attack.
So here we have a little bit of poke coming on. And so here we're getting on the Snoop. Like, that's one of the big weaknesses of the Grux. Grux can be like very, very strong, but Grux is very, very easy to pick up. And so as a Grux, you need to always like be like very wary of your positioning and be careful of not getting picked up. Like I said, also Howitzer makes Grux life like super complicated, because like you can never stick to anyone. We got attack speed buff on the Snoop. Is it the time to start big Gruxing? We walk on the ward. We do have flash though. They want to dive that? They want to tank like the whole tower? Like, what are they doing? Please? What is that? Okay, we secure the tower.
Tower under attack. An allied
well, that was a weird call by Ray as well. Well, we got the tower, but we lose like... We lose 4 people in the tower, so... Like here, like brain freeze time. It was probably late. EU people starting to be tired. I don't know. That's like here, like with the flash, Grux ultimate and stuff, like there is so much you can do to like just wait the next wave. You can force the tower pretty easily. You can surprise them. As soon as you go for the flash in with the Grux, you can follow up with like the shield slam. Suddenly everyone is dead because you have the damage on top and you get double kill. You get the tower. You can even pressure the tier 2 tower while the enemy team is going on the other side of the map. And so this whole situation here on the side of even worse timing should have been like double kill for themselves, a tower and maybe a tier 2 tower, when in the end it's them like getting only a tower to lose 3 people and losing a tower, which was like, that was very bad. On the other side we do have the enemy team that's gonna secure like the mini prime as well, I assume, and that's a huge shift of gold here. Like, we got Happy Picker with the mini prime. We got like the advantage they have on the side of even worse timing is that they have 2 Fang Tooths. So they can like maybe go for the triple Fang Tooths, but that was such a huge shift of gold and experience here that it's actually like something that they have to be very, very careful about.
allied towers destroyed.
So let's see what Ray is maxing second. He's going for the damage or he's going like for the utility with the shield. To be fair, against a Drongo and Howitzer, I would always max the shield second personally, because the shield can like win team fight by himself against a Howitzer and a Drongo, and so I think it's better than just like having more damage. Please, Ray, level up an ability so I can see what you're doing. And I can, like, go to someone else. Lower invading the jungle like it's his own town. And I think securing like both of them here. Actually, Ray is going for the damage and the CDR reduction on the shield bash. I do believe I prefer the shield, the force shield here in that situation, in this specific instance against that specific team. It's also like pretty good to stop the thunk in certain situations to save teammate. Like there is like a lot of application against this team for the force shield. So I would have preferred maxing that personally. In the meantime, we have the Snoop securing the tower, resetting immediately. He was almost getting cancelled by the minion, but he managed to get out. Otherwise, he was getting collapsed on by the Severot. And now we're going to get like the third Fang Tooth respawning, which is actually like an important moment. Because like, in a sense, on the side of even worse timing, they kind of need it. Because otherwise, it's going to be tough. And also like, that's the moment that they're like, they need... Like if they want to have a chance, because the Grog's like fall off super hard in the later stage of the match. And so they need to utilize it at that moment to be able to secure this third Fang Tooth. And they have like a pretty good like team fight comp that they kind of have to start utilizing. And so like this triple Fang Tooth, like this third Fang Tooth of the game is a key moment in the match. And I assume like both teams are going to go contest it. Well, the thing is, Toasty is saying that we get like only one shield in team fight, but if you get your shield level 5, you get like 2 shield per team fight because you reduce 3 seconds per level up. So at the end, you get like the shield is like on a 10-second CD with your ability Ace and the fact that it's level 5. That I feel like it's actually like pretty insane, and you can use it, the shield like a lot more for like just getting space in the jungle, these type of things. And against team that actually rely a lot on like ability that can't go through the shield, I truly believe that's the play. So here we have both team like looking around the fight. The Fang Tooth getting for a little bit of poke, but poke doesn't really matter because they do have an Arbash. This is where like I'm not a big fan of Shin like spamming his abilities so far, because like you can see like Shin doesn't have like insane amount of mana. He only have 500. And so spamming like those Seek and Destroy and Sticky Mine while the enemy team has an Arbash, I feel like it's just like wasted mana overall. Here you can see like they keep like going for like, here he's spamming more and now Shin like is at 400 mana. And all like this damage has done absolutely nothing so far. And here we see Import and the Snoop getting like completely like engaged on. They're a little bit late. They try to go for the Tesla Dome. Very nice Tesla Dome though on the shield slam. But unfortunately they already have like 2 people that are out of the fight and now they're like in full disengage. And Shin is 0 mana. Like he spammed 6 abilities that did nothing, and now we don't have any mana like to finish like any target. And this is where like there is also like this saying about like you have to understand what your ability are doing. So very nice like way of splitting up the fight on the side of villains, and villains here taking like a very strong option, but and so like that's really like every time you use an ability, you try like to you throw an ability, you have to ask yourself like what this ability is going to accomplish. If you're like a comp that like the enemy team has no like sustain, like poking before a team fight is actually very valuable. But if you throw abilities to the point that during the team fight you won't have enough to use all your abilities, then you made a mistake, because the enemy team had like sustain a lot actually. And so like all the previous ability like you casted were like not useful. It's like a little bit when we remember watching the match like previously, like when Soul Reaper was playing like Howitzer and he was like just throwing his landmine all the time to do 50 damage. like then you don't have Lord Landmine, and Lord Landmine, if you don't max it on top of that, you should never use it for damage. You should always use it to as a CC. And so if you just throw it and you don't have it for the next 15 seconds, then tough luck. If you have a better window, you can't use it anymore. So here, overall, even worse timing, approaching like this third Fangtus, not from the best of the position, kind of getting split up a little bit too much, and villains like doing a very, very good job at beelining towards like the two frontliners that weren't that tanky and just destroying them. And here we do get like the Bone Seeker Basilisk Crux that is getting absolutely like bullied by the Sevrog. And now we got the rotation from Happy Picker, Colossal Blow, plus Call, and that should be like a kill. And like this Crux is not having a fun time. And so we're waiting for like, I guess, like here it's villains games to be played basically. They have like still like, they're pretty far ahead at that point. They do are actually like 75 CS down, so that's something going for the side of even worse timing. But in terms of actual kill, like as you can see, we have 7 more kills. Like this Grex is not really like a hero at that point. It's just like creating a little bit of distraction, but we have like 3 item finish. We're working towards the Kostika on the side of Shin. We got also like the Bone Seeker on the side of import, so Basilisk Bone Seeker, like both itemization being kind of similar here. Trying to be able to probably like kill the Sevrog or the Camera, trying like to go on the same target. But here like the Snoop getting engaged on, we do have Toasty, double shield, like there is no way you're gonna cancel that ultimate, and so like no, the Snoop is dead, import is just like gonna walk away. They just like they do no damage against that healing from like Toasty on the Narabash, it seems. And so here they have to fight around this O Prime with like already like the Grux being dead. On top of that, like the team is very split up. They still have some potential because like once again, like a good like shield slam into Tesla Dome can actually like create some magic, but it's such a tough battle. And here like you can see they do immediately that, like they go for the counter engage immediately, forcing import into the Stones for Soul, like right, trying like to find something. And that's something against a team that their only shot is actually like to go very, very aggressive and find like some good wombo combo. Like one way to disrupt the wombo combo is just like you jump on them before they actually have a shot to jump on you. And here, villains, very well executed, go immediately on import, forcing Red to react a little bit fast, forcing Shin to use the Tesla Dome. Unfortunately, like Shin doesn't have any mana, so he can't like even like stay around. He's gonna get like the river buff to get like a little bit more of mana. So the Snoop is arriving. It's the moment for Snoop to shine, but he just get Colossal Blow away. They do find the pick onto Toasty. Sevrog is very low. They got a double kill, and now they're gonna get like a little bit more. The Snoop should like just be like cannon fodder. They stop them from getting out of the pit, and they try like to play very, very well here. We try to use the grab to get like some damage. Pablo playing very well with his corner. The only problem is that Shin doesn't have any mana. And here they kind of force, we get a nice crush into like this camera, but the regen is kind of kicking in. Bry is doing a lot of damage. Shin ended up dying from like the damage from the Drongo. And in the end, it's gonna be like, they do secure and then manage to get out of that like deadly trap with 3 people on the Ore Prime. So that was very well played. I still like I'm surprised that every single team fight Shin end up with no mana. And that's like actually like a big deal, because if Shin has a little bit more mana in that pit fight, like actually I think there is like maybe like more kill that can come up. And so maybe a little bit too much spamming before the fight happens into like a Narbash composition, like I said, when like the damage is not actually really that relevant. And that's a little bit unfortunate. And that's something like as a caster, it's really like most character, you don't really care about mana management most of the time. But as caster, it's something you have to be very worried about. Is like, do I have enough mana for the next team fight if a team fight can occur? So here we're trying like to force something. We already used the Tesla Dome, but the Tesla Dome seems to be on nobody. So we're gonna like rewind and watch that a little bit better. So here we try to find like Lekinator. We got like, ooh, okay. The idea was like to delete Lekinator as fast as possible, but Lekinator does a good shrapnel cannon to be able to dodge the damage. And now we have two big ultimates that are kind of out. Here the landmine, we try to grab the Lekinator. Lekinator 1 HP. We do find Lekinator for the Snoop. To be fair, at that point it's completely worth it, but we use the Tesla Dome and also like the Shield Slam. And so the two big ultimate that kind of offer them like a little bit of a team fight, that is actually gone. And here we can see Shin going to the right side, gonna try to defend against Lober. Maybe gonna lose the tier 2 tower, but at least not losing the inhibitor. And so the Shin is going to be like ready for like stopping this split push, because they can't really force this Primal Fangtus just with one kill while also losing the Snoop.
An allied inhibitor is under attack.
So we got the Giant Ring on the Snoop. To be fair, I think Giant Ring is a very nice item for the Grox. When you use your ultimate, you're in the middle of the fight. Getting like your CD like faster in the team fight, like getting another crush or smash and grab in team fight is pretty good. Getting the increased range for your double pain and also like your auto attack range is actually like very nice. I think like Giant Ring is actually an undervalued item on Grox. But here it doesn't really matter because like the Snoop is just too far behind. So here we have a little bit of damage going on to Ray. They're gonna go like for like the Crash Bang Boom, the Call. As a steel support, like sometimes your life is hard when you can't like stay in the team fight long enough. We try to create some space, but we're just like basically expanding a Stoneforge Soul for not much of a reason. That means that they got like Ray, they got the Stoneforge Soul out of the Greystone. That's the moment they can actually like force this Primal Fangtus now. We have Lober trying like to stop the Snoop from entering this pit. Shin is trying to find an angle as well. They actually have import the Snoop Shin all around, but that means that if they collapse on somewhere, suddenly this person is probably dead, and that's exactly what villains do. They accept to get out of the pit, get the Tesla Dome to zone them out so they can't like fully go in. Pablo trying to find like a pickup, but not enough damage actually. And so here, that's still like pretty good amount of damage, but they also like already lose the Snoop again. And here we got like a good landmine into Colossal Blow. We do use the Epoch to try to survive on the side of Shin, while Pablo gets killed in the backline. Ray finally coming back into that fight, but it's probably like just only for him to die in the end. The chain CC, like Ray is very happy that he can actually play the game. 2 times in a row, he could basically like move 1 inch before he actually dies. So that was like a wonderful like exchange. Here we can see villains decide to go for the full reset, spending their gold, and then they're gonna come back to try to get this Primal Fangtus, I would assume, while there is still like 2 people dead on the other side, which is the dual lane of Even Worse Timing. Villains being in complete control so far of the game. We see Toasty going like for the little martial tech onto the Narbash. So Toasty is super duper squishy, but it don't really matter because like the enemy team is that far behind, they don't have enough damage to kill him. anyway. So here we have like a group up. They try to force like something with only this Primal Fangtooth, forcing the Tesla Tome very, very early. And as soon as you see the Tesla Tome being used, like, Evelyn's doing a good job. Like, the composition on the side of Even Worse Timing is all about like those big ultimate and that you combine them together. So when one big ultimate is actually like being expanded, villains just say like, okay, you expanded your ultimate, we're not fighting into that. And then they re-engage after the ultimate has been expanded and after like the Narbash actually like sustain them very well, and they played that their composition of like sustain actually very, very well. Like every time like Even Worse Timing has been trying to make something happen with like those big ultimate, villains has just like either like full like thwarting their plan or just like disengaging correctly, using the advantage of having like a lot of this Narbash as a angular stone of the strategy with the March, the Song of My People, Import going in and actually stealing the objectives. That is actually very bad. So let's watch that again. Import managing to steal that. We do have a landmine. We do have a sunk. We do have a gag grenade. We do have a lot of solution to stop Import from doing anything. So what happened here? Import doing like the good passing to kind of remain hidden for as long as he can. And here we see like Lobber immediately going for the Colossal Blow, but not good enough. And I think Import like managed to hunt it while he was jumping. It's unfortunate timing, but at the same time, you can have Lobber zoning. Like, to be honest, you can have Lobber like not DPSing and playing like a little bit more advanced, so he see that he's coming, he can use this subjugate. Like, if you play in that corner, like you don't have vision. If you play in that corner, you have the whole vision on people coming from both front, and you can Colossal Blow anyone that step up or just subjugate the guy that come from the stairs. So Sunk need to go on Import as well, but the problem, like, the Sunk doesn't go on Import because they don't have info on Import. And that's the problem. Like, the problem is not really like they don't use the ability on time, is that they don't see Import coming. So either you have a ward issue, and if you have a ward issue, you need to use like your Sevarog to be zoning, because to be fair, like, I don't think you need the Sevarog damage in that situation, and you want the Narbash to offer the Marshal to everyone. So yeah, so in the end we do manage to get like the Ore Prime. The problem is like we got the Ore Prime probably on only 2 people. I assume we got it on the Snoop. So now we have like a fully activated Grux. Like with Ore Prime, that's an absolute monster. Is absolutely not dying anymore anytime soon. He's gonna destroy the whole team. Well, he's 1-7-1, so don't take my word for it. Well, the thing is, depending on the situation, it really depends on what do you want in terms of DPS and what is like the best tool to zone against the enemy team. Sometimes like, for instance, when you're playing Decker support is most of the time your best zoner because the damage is like completely irrelevant and you're very good at zoning. So it really depends on your team comp and what the enemy team has as a team comp, and overall what portion of the map you're trying to zone as well.
Allied tower under attack.
So we're kind of waiting a little bit. I think on the side of Villains, they don't want to fight into that Ore Prime, so Villains is a very methodical kind of team. I would even dare to say they're a little bit too much scared to make plays if not everything is going their way. And so here, there is 2 Ore Prime on the enemy team. We're just like play slow, wait for the Ore Prime to get away, and maybe then we'll resume playing a little bit the game. So the map is beautiful. We have wards everywhere. We have inhibitors everywhere. That's such a beauty to behold. Like even like this ward that is almost out of my screen is wonderful. It's wonderful. Like I think we could take like the replay mode minimap and do like some arts with it. Like I wouldn't be on the side of Cynic to have to actually like figure out what is this bug about. Because I have not even the slightest idea of like why like it's not even like every single ward is like getting stuck in one corner, so there's like a problem of like coordinate. Like it's not like it's so something like, yeah. Good luck, Cynic. So we're getting the Primal Fangtooth gonna respawn. And here, well, we keep spamming, Like, I hope Shin is going to have enough mana for the next team fight. Like, please, Shin, stop spamming, please. So, just for info, look at the mana of Shin. He already used like half of his mana bar. Look at how much damage they took. Lobber took a little bit of damage. So I do truly hope that we don't get like any mana issue in the next team fight. So here like Import trying to go into the backline. We got like the good like combo onto like on Pablo. Pablo forced to back into the backline. We do have the Howitzer going over the Force Shield, which is like actually like very, very, very strong. And so like here we do get like already like the Snoop that is dead. We try like to disengage as much as we can. And here we kind of have like a disengage. So Shin is saying like he's a Mega Cons match, you have to spam 100%. The thing is, you have to spam before like the engage, but like here like there was like 8 spells that basically like did nothing. And so at the same time, like yeah, I guess you can spam if you touch like squishies, but spamming on tanks, like I don't feel like was any value. Like you use like half of your mana bar to get like 100 health on Lobber. Like that's all that was. So I'm not so sure about it, but I don't think you're a threat to Lobber at all, Shin. Like here, if your team want to win any team fight, they have to find like an opportunity where they can ignore Lobber and kill someone else. Because if damage goes on Lobber, like you never win the team fight. And I know it's super hard, like you're super far behind on the side of even worse timing, and Villains is not gonna make it easy to go to anyone else, but there is nothing to be found in damaging Lobber. Yeah, but then if you want to kill Lobber, the whole team needs to be ready to kill Lobber. Like you can't kill Lobber by yourself. And so you need the rest of the team to expend some CC on him to get like a full Tesla Dome, and then you try to burst him, which I think it's a very, very scary proposition. Like just poking by yourself, like Lobber sustain plus the Narbash behind, like your sticky mine just not even scratch him. Oh, and then we got the flash aggressively, Happy Picker trying to find the Snoop. The Snoop trying to disengage, but like a landmine is in the middle, is getting like absolutely 8 crime, and the Snoop is gone. And here we get like Pablo that gets found. We use the Tesla Dome trying to save Pablo, but unfortunately here Pablo is a little bit out of position. The Snoop get picked up, but he got flashed in and stuff, so there is like not much he can do. But here, like Pablo should respect the fact that they don't have jungle control. Losing Pablo here means that they have absolutely like no shot. It's double big buff. Should be the last push, and that should probably like be W for the side of villains.
Returning to base. An allied tower destroyed. An allied inhibitor is under siege.
And here we can find already like one inhibitor, and here villains trying to go for the W immediately, while like there is like still 4 people up, and they decided to not go for it in the end. Or maybe you wanted to have like a slight little chat with your Grux in heavens, Pablo. Like you saw that the Snoop was feeling a little bit bored by himself on the gray screen, and you decided to join him there.
An allied tower is destroyed.
So here we're pushing the second inhibitor. We're trying to go like for the double inhibitor win.
Allied inhibitor is under attack.
We try to use the Tesla Dome to actually like deny a little bit and get the minion wave. To be fair, like that's a play I see a lot, but I'm really like not a big fan. Like I feel like the Tesla Dome is the only way that the team can actually win a team fight. Like for me, it's the only way that Even Warsaming has a chance to win a team fight against a double buff team on the side of villains. And so yeah, we kind of almost killed the wave, but and I know like Tesla Dome is probably like 50-second cooldown at that point. But at the same time, that means it's a 50-second window that there is absolutely like no team fight on the side of Even Worse Timing. So for me, like you really need to keep like the dome, and you try to find like a way that maybe in like an amazing world we find a good wombo combo and Tesla Dome carry the team fight. Which to be fair, like it's probably like a 2% chance. Like it's a very, very small chance. But using that dome here to clear the wave just like guarantee that you have absolutely no shot in the next team fight, and that you guarantee that you lose the game. So it's like even if you're like the further behind, always like trying to look for the opportunity to have any chance of comeback. But here it was like very, very, very tough. Villains playing pretty well overall through the whole match. I feel like there was like this big like turning point when like, I don't know, like 3 people died under the tier 1 tower on the left side of the map for no reason on the side of Even Worse Timing. And also like I feel like the Snoop wasn't a big fan of his Grux, and I didn't feel like he was like super proficient on the Grux, so maybe we need to look for something that is a little bit more in his champion pool.